Well, hello and welcome to Lord of the Board. My name is Sam, and yes, I'm already back talking about more Ahoy because, like I said, I'm just excited about this game, and while I'm figuring out my space, there are still things that we can talk about, things that we can discuss. And so today, we're going to be talking about the kind of, I guess, out of all the new content that we got for Ahoy, this would be the smallest piece of content that we got, which is called the Treasure Pack. And one thing about this Treasure Pack that I think is really impressive is that this is the smallest expansion, but it is maybe my favorite. I don't know. No, it's definitely not. I mean, the factions are just so helpful to have in the game. But okay, this is a small box, but it packs a large punch, because what this essentially does is it adds 13 cards to the game, and these 13 cards are basically chosen at the beginning of the game and give a special power to your faction. Well, first off, if you're coming from a ARC's background, then this would be the lore cards, or the lore cards are the character cards that you would choose before a game of ARCs. And so for me, this is just very fun. So we've got 13 cards. We're going to be talking about these today. It also does come with not just cards. It comes with a couple of components. It comes with basically components that go with certain of these treasures. The way this works is it's super simple. You're going to be drawing 2 cards at the start of the game. Every player is. And then they're going to just choose one to keep and play, and the other just gets discarded to the box. So what do these powers have? Let's talk about them one at a time, just to kind of discuss them, maybe give you some ideas on like maybe this is something that you actually are interested in. So the first one is Ancient Malediction. This says that you gain 4 corruption tokens now. When you win a battle, you may also place 1 corruption token on the defeated player's board. Repairing a corruption token flips it over. Repairing a flipped corruption token returns it to you. So you're going to get 4 of these essentially. They're these little damage tokens that have 2 sides. Oh geez. And you're going to be dealing extra damage, and that damage is going to be harder to remove. So very, very fun. We've also got Bountiful Booty. When an enemy would steal your gold, they gain gold from the supply instead. So essentially a gold shield. This can be very helpful for certain factions that are more reliant on the gold, particularly like the militant factions that it's usually really tough for them to keep on to gold. We've got Captain Clay's Cannon. This might be an Easter egg to Clay, who works for Leader. I don't know. I might be way off about that, but it might be. But Captain Clay's Cannon. As an action, you may damage a die slot on your player board to increase your cannon's die value by 3. So if you already have a cannon die in there, you can increase the value by 3 by taking a damage as an action on your turn. Really good because you can make your cannons last quite a bit longer. I had this one in my last game. We've got the Cursed Map. At the start of your turn, you may damage your Tailwind or Dive slot to move a figure of yours to any space with a Tailwind terrain. Very, very good, because if you look in the rule books for these, you can kind of get the list of what is considered a figure. So for example, this could be used to move patrols. This could be used to move frigates for the Coral Cap. Cursed Map is very good. We've got A Deal with Davy Jones. So this is kind of interesting. Davy Jones is canonized in Ahoy. This says once per turn, you may discard 1 crew of yours to gain gold equal to its recruit cost. If it costs a die to recruit, gain 3 gold instead. It's basically just a way to, if you have situational crew that you've gotten, and you're done with the use out of it, you can get rid of that crew, get the money back, use that money for something else. Perhaps to up your die value. Either way, it's kind of useful. Once again, very situational, because in my personal opinion, I'm not going to get the crew unless I need the crew. But I do see, I don't know, I want to play with that one, but it is very interesting, which is good. The next one is Deck of Fate. You may now re-roll any of your action dice. Whenever you roll your action dice, you may re-roll any of them once. That's just flat out good. Gambler's dice. This one is fun. When you roll action dice, their dice values can trigger these effects even multiple times. So if you have a pair of ones or snake eyes, you're going to lose 1 fame. If you have 2 of a kind, except ones, you're going to gain 1 fame. If you have 3 of a kind, you're going to gain 2 fame. If you have 4 of a kind, you are going to gain 4 fame. Some groups are going to love that. Some groups may not love that, but that's why we have 13 cards here. There's so much to explore. This one is, I have not played with this one yet, but I really want to, and it's called the Ghostly Gang. It has amazing artwork on it, and it says that you're going to be rolling the ghost die now, and whenever you roll your action dice, roll the ghost die now, and whenever you roll your action dice. On your first turn each round, you may place the ghost die as your 3rd die, except in undamageable die slots, such as repair. When removing the ghost die from a die slot, damage that slot. So this is going to give you the ghost die, which the ghost die is awesome. But the problem with this die is that it's going to leave damage when it's removed. But really, is that a problem? Because you're getting an extra action the first round of, the first turn of each round. So imagine having this with a blue faction, because you're going to be getting a total of 6 actions every round. 1 extra dice at the end, 1 extra dice at the beginning. That's very, very good. Very curious about this one. Very exciting. Options is really what I'm so excited about. We've got the Jar of Land and Sea. This one probably will have a lot of analysis paralysis associated with it. You gain 2 sandbar and 2 water tokens right now. Once per turn, you may place or remove a sandbar or water token on a space edge of a region with your pieces. Even comrades would be included in this. Sandbars are sandbar terrain, and water removes sandbar terrain it covers. So they're 2-sided, and you can basically just place one once per turn. And you're basically creating these walls, or you're opening up walls for your pieces and for your opponent's pieces. What we found is that you can kind of cut off areas of the map, which is very fun. It's a cool concept, and it definitely adds quite a bit. But once again, a lot of analysis paralysis, because you're always trying to think of like, what's the most optimal way I can use these resources given to me. We've got the Mystic Hourglass. Once per turn, you may spend 1 gold to flip any unplaced die, even an enemy's dice. So what that means is that you're just going to the opposite side of the dice. And if you don't know, some really, really easy calculation for you, just to know like what the other side is without actually having to flip and check. It's always going to equal 7. So if your dice is at 6, you're going to be flipping it and it will be 1. If your dice is at 4, you're going to flip it, it's going to be 3. And if your dice is at 2, you're going to flip it, it's going to be the 5. It's a really good way to kind of remember that, and vice versa. So this can be useful because if you know that your opponent needs a certain die value, you can flip their dice and basically ensure that they can't do that rally that they're trying to do if they are, you know, trying to get some comrades on the board. There's just so many uses with the Mystic Hourglass. I feel like that one's also kind of analysis paralysis heavy, but it's very cool. We've got the Spectral Sail. When you move your flagship, you may choose to ignore all terrain, even gold, for that action. And at the end of the game, you're going to lose 3 fame. So what that means is that you can ignore wreckage, you can ignore sandbars. I mean, this is very, very useful. But at the end of the game, you're going to be going down 3 fame. So your flagship becomes a powerhouse of movement. It just kind of sucks at the end. So make sure that it's worth it. There's another one that can make you lose fame, and that's going to be the Stolen Chest. This says that you gain 2 gold right now, and at the end of the game, you're going to be losing 5 fame, but you're going to gain a fame for every gold that you have. So if you have 3 gold at the end of the game, you're only going to be losing 2 fame. And then lastly, we've got the Either Ors. Very clever name. It says collect the region tile from the box and set it aside face down. You may look at it. When you explore, after drawing a tile, you may choose to place your set aside tile instead. And if you do, set aside the drawn tile without revealing it. Very awesome, because there is just like more manipulation with what's actually getting on the board. This could be really good for certain factions. And I think that's really kind of what I've come to with all of these, is that all of these are, one, situational, but a lot of them can be very, very powerful depending on certain circumstances. And one of the reasons why I love this little expansion so much is that you can play the same faction, and now with these special powers, they might feel very different. If I'm playing the Bluefish Squadron and I've got the Ghostly Gang, I'm getting 6 actions a turn. If I'm playing the Shellfire Rebellion and I got the Ghostly Gang, now I kind of have the same action economy as my blue militant opponent there. Spectral Sail, you don't care about terrain as much, like wreckage doesn't matter as much. There's so many options with that kind of stuff. Every time you play the faction, now they're going to have a little bit of a different flavor. Me personally, I don't think I'm going to be finding myself ever playing without these. Even in a learning game, I don't think it's too much for a player to learn. Some of them are a little bit think heavy, but at the end of the day, these just add more variance to your Ahoy games. And I'm really, really excited about that. Some amazing art, very, very small package. I think this is a great addition to Ahoy. I'm curious on what your thoughts are to these abilities, and are you excited to try them out? Do you have a favorite one? That was a lot of questions, but hey, if you answer one, I would love to hear from you down below. That is it for today's quick video. I will see you in the next one. Let's go ahead and drop the beat.